Hey guys, Naomi here with Colin and Greg.
Beyond!
And of course, we're going to be showing you guys the Resistance 3 preview that we have for you. That's coming out in September. So, guys, take it away.
You ready to do this?
Ready?
I'm ready, yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Naomi.
No problem.
Pleasure being back here with you for another groundbreaking PlayStation 3 exclusive. I know you've been jam-packed with Xbox 360 games you guys have been live streaming lately. But yeah, Insomniac Games, Resistance 3, coming out September. Right now, you've started the game, obviously.
Right.
You've gone through the initial cutscenes, so we don't waste your time.
Right.
Where are we right now?
So we're in Haven, Oklahoma. This is a human settlement. This is where Joseph Capelli and his family are, and some other families. Yeah, we skipped the original cutscene. We didn't want to spoil too much for you. I will say that there are obviously going to be spoilers. This is going to be the first beginning of the game. So please don't watch it if you. But
you're not gonna. I played through last night. You're not going to have anything groundbreaking. If you've been reading previews, you've been keeping up. Actually, you probably know more than what we're actually going to show you today. But what really stood out to me when I was doing this is how alive the city is, right? Like, this is underneath Haven, Oklahoma. It's this little thing. You wake up, and now you're out moving around, and you have all these families just trying to make it, which I found really interesting.
It's cool. Yeah, I mean, everyone's just kind of doing their thing. This is Joseph Capelli's wife. We're going to see more of her later.
Gorgeous. Am I right? Oh, my gosh.
She's
a strong woman, too.
Don't tell Elena Fisher I'm cheating on her. Come
on. So here's a piece of intel. Now, obviously, all the Resistance games have intel. And what's really cool is that, when you pick them up, it brings up on the screen, it'll tell you what it says, but you can also see the original version of it.
I like that a lot.
That's sweet.
So that's kind of cool. And then you can always just go into the menu, journal, and then you can see it there if you want to. So we're going to head out. We're going down this tunnel. The first thing we're going to do, obviously, is a little tutorial for the weapons. Yeah. We'll run into this guy here. This is Winston.
Talk about your son.
He's talking about
my
son.
Sick last night.
He was. He's very sick.
It's a very desolate game. Things aren't going so well right now, Colin.
No, the humans have basically lost. The planet is very cold. As you'll see, the Chimera are terraforming the planet and intentionally making it colder to suit their needs. So,
so now, for a lot of people who are joining Resistance 3, Resistance 1 and 2 come along, what exactly is the story of Resistance 3, Colin?
So Resistance 3 is basically, obviously, the first two games dealt more with the Chimeran invasion of Europe and North America, respectively. Now that the Chimera have basically dominated the entire planet, they're basically running around, basically trying to make the planet their own. And we don't really know what their aims are, but they have death squads going around, as you're going to see shortly, that are trying to take care of humanity.
Thanks for the spoiler on what's coming up to.
Yeah, no problem.
I was hoping the first 30 minutes of this game would just be us walking around the place here, talking to people.
Oh, you're not feeling that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I like it a lot, actually. I do enjoy the walk around. Like, I think it sets up a really nice version.
Yeah, you get the environment a little bit better.
Yeah, it's cool. They're eating, the people are eating, the kids are there. This guy's maybe drunk. I don't know what that guy's doing.
I'd be drunk.
I'd be drunk.
Totally,
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Live underground. Not only do I live underground, I live in Oklahoma. Oh, please.
Working washer and dryer, though.
Yeah, of course.
Things aren't that bad. Yeah. I don't even have that. All right.
Some high-class stuff. So we have a question here. So we're going to start with the questions.
Yeah, great.
It's obvious.
If people want to be asked questions.
If they want to answer questions, just go to IGN.com and, tweet IGN.com and use the hashtag Resistance3, obviously.
Just tweet at IGN.
At IGN.
At IGN, hashtag Resistance3.
Okay. Well then, our first question is VFi, whatever.
Nice username.
Yes.
Jerk. Come on.
Very, very different. Anyway, hi guys. Just want to know, does the 3D add something better to the game beyond?
Beyond.
Well, we saw the 3D at E3.
GDC, yeah, they did it at E3 too. Yeah, it's one of their big things.
But I honestly haven't played it in 3D, this build or with Move. Although we know we can play this build with Move.
Yeah. From what we played at E3 and stuff, I mean 3D, it gives you the depth of field in first-person shooter, which is nice in extent. But I've never felt like you're looking on the sights of the bullseye right now.
Right.
It's not like you're missing something. You know what I mean? Like if Killzone, I thought, Killzone's a beautiful, beautiful game, but then you put it into 3D and you had that option of having the sights and having it pop. It didn't do much for me, so I've never really gone out of my way to do any games that way. I'm still waiting for that game that makes 3D make sense.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's a gimmick. I mean, people that listen to Podcast Beyond know how we feel, and that it's not really needed, but it's here if you want to take advantage of it. And it's going to be in a lot of Sony first-party games going forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's still people who love 3D.
Oh yeah, the 3 richest kings who have been able to afford a 3D TV are just in love with it. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll go to another question.
Yeah, please do. Sure.
The Keck111, does Resistance 3 bring back the atmosphere and storytelling, which I think is very important in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think more than almost, things are more desolate than they've ever been. So I think that if you're into post-apocalyptic stuff, dystopian stuff, like I know I am, then I think you're going to find plenty to like in this particular game. And the game, with humanity basically having lost, not really fighting anymore, it's more desolate than ever.
Yeah.
And are we learning anything more about the Chimera at all in this game?
Yeah, you are. I'm not going to show you much of it, but you'll see you'll see more about the Chimera. And I don't think everyone's questions are always going to be answered. There's a lot of things we want to know about them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We don't really know their motives. And Resistance 2 obviously showed us quite a bit about what they're doing here. Maybe they've already been here and stuff like that. But
Throw the freaking grenade.
I'm sorry, I've been talking.
Come on, yeah, you talk with your hands too much. Can't you do both?
No,
Come on, kid.
I'm Italian.
Now, was this shield thing part of Resistance 2 as well?
Yeah, enemies have Chimeran enemies and weapons have kinetic
I think it's
shields
cool
like
that you have that as well.
Yeah, because
Use it to new
as you'll see a little later, they loot their bodies of Chimera and stuff, and Capelli actually prefers to use a bullseye, which is a Chimeran weapon. So
Cool.
it's all about what you're used to. You can use human weapons too if you'd like.
I particularly like the pistol. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, the Magnum's a human weapon.
Yeah. Sorry, Magnum. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's a
it is
pistol.
what
It's
it
a
is.
little handgun.
See, before we skip beats though, the story I thought, like for me, that was what in a way turned me off to Resistance 1 and 2, was the fact that it was such a militarized story, which I really have trouble connecting with, you know what I mean? I've never been that kind of guy. Whereas the way this whole thing starts, right, underneath Haven, Oklahoma, you have your wife, you have your kid, these are the people you're trying to protect, and they're talking to you as you walk around, was an immediate hook for me.
Right.
And so like when, later on in this demo, when they ask you to go chase down this one guy who hasn't reported in, it makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it
I
makes it
wanted
more
to protect
personal.
these people. Yeah,
Totally.
exactly. We're all together.
Yeah. So we have SONet. How is the selection of weapons so far compared to the first two games? Anything exciting and new?
Yeah, there are. I don't know what I can talk about, what I can't. You're not going to see anything really new in what we're going to show you.
Okay.
But there are some new weapons and lots of old weapons that people are going to be familiar with.
You're happy the weapon wheel's back, right?
Yeah, the weapon wheel is cool. I mean, so, as I joked around with Marcus Smith from Insomniac about where all the weapons are held, because in Resistance 2, you can really only hold
have two, and now, yeah, exactly.
And like in the original Resistance, you had the weapon wheel that came up and it's back. So you can carry basically every weapon that you ever find, and God knows where he keeps them, but.
Yeah.
And the weapons obviously level up and get stronger and things of this nature the more you use them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so far, even in this little bit, right, we've seen a lot of the whole carrot at the end of the stick thing. You're playing, you see your marksman level going up, you see your bullseye level going up, and it's nice to see these star ranks and know what you're doing matters. There's trophy counters now, too.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, people will see that a little later. That's really nice. Greg and I both like to get trophies, and it's frustrating sometimes to not know how close you are to getting them, but this game shows you how close you're getting them as you're working your way towards them. So you'll see a little bit more of that.
All right, cool. So now we're about to get into the middle of the action, right?
Yeah, we're coming up from the underground here.
Okay. Cool. So we have also Singapore 141.
That's a good name, by the way.
Well, this is a pretty simple question. How does it feel to play?
I think
And he says beyond.
Beyond. I think it feels great. I mean, the controls are, they're not too stiff, and it's got an
I noticed that a lot.
It's almost got an arcadey feel to it in a way, but it feels, it feels great. I mean, I think people that play it, especially Resistance 2, I think are going to find the game to feel something familiar.
Oh my God!
So here's a
happening!
Chimera, a Chimeran hybrid, just took this guy out.
Look at the color palette of this game. Like
It is
this is
amazing.
so,
It's bleak.
Yeah.
It's totally right.
One of my favorite kind of color palettes there are, I think, just, World War II-y movie style, like very gray panel. Yeah, very cool.
Especially, and it makes so much more sense when you start getting down and deeper into where you're going to go here and
Right.
see the world basically out of it by the terraforming. Here we go. I also love the screams of the dead Chimera. Like when I knew I got one, I'm just dead.
Yeah, it's nice to get there. So they have those cooling packs on their backs because their home planet is, or where the Chimera are is colder, and those keep them cold. So if you use certain weapons on them or are able to shoot them or use an EMP grenade, they actually explode on their backs and you hear them scream.
Cool. What is the name of the planet that they're from?
We don't know. We don't even know where they're from, and we've never seen
Pluto?
it. Maybe.
Maybe Pluto. It's pissed off that it's not a planet.
And
That's awesome. So we have the Matman. The Matman, he asks, is it worth playing the game with the sharpshooter, or should I use a standard controller?
It's hard to say yet. I mean, I'm definitely going to go for the standard controller myself. Now, in case people are curious why I'm using the Magnum here on this huge stalker, it's because of the secondary fire on this particular weapon.
The one that shoots all three. For example, when you were doing targeting, you shot all three.
Does it explosive?
It's an explosive round. So you can, if you shoot and tag it, it's doing damage with the bullets. Plus, you can press R2 a bunch of times and make explosions that wouldn't otherwise be there.
Yeah, this guy was pretty tough for me.
Now you're out of ammo, Colin. What do you do? There's
way it goes.
leveling on the Magnum too that you see that you're increasing on them. Oh, you go up top.
Yeah.
Also worth pointing out, you've been picking up some health packs here. No more regenerative health.
Nope.
Nathan Hale's regenerative health is gone.
Which I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It gives it a more hardcore feel, in my opinion. You know, because you can't just hide and wait for your health to you have to be a little smarter than that. If you don't have much health, then you're really going to be kind of out of luck.